Hey yo, hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be doing some questions and answers, where you guys have the opportunity to ask me questions, and I do the best I can to give you guys good answers. Now remember, there's no such thing as stupid question. You guys can ask me anything, except for who would win in a fight, Superman or a Jedi with a kryptonite lightsaber. It's pretty clear the winner would be Batman, even though he wasn't in the fight. Now you can ask a question by commenting on my page, commenting on the video, or sending me a personal message. Now before we get into the actual question and answer session, this won't be a long one because I only have a few questions here. When you send me an email about a question, a lot of people tend to do their life story, telling me a lot of detail into why they're asking me the question. Well, that's all well and good. I enjoy reading people's long questions, but at the very bottom of the question, for my convenience, could you just put the question in short at the bottom? This makes it easier for me if I'm in a rush, so I don't have to go through the whole question and figure out where it is. Not saying I don't enjoy the long question, just could you put a little, a kind of a bullet to that at the bottom saying, okay, here's just a recap, this is what my question is. Please. And just to let you know, for the people that do send those long messages, and there are quite a bit of them, I shortened down your question. So your question is in here, but it's been shortened down. And I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to eat some brunch. It's like 9 in the morning, and I have a spaghetti fix. Yum. Anyways, with that said, this is in no particular order. First question. Will you have another collection video? Yes, I probably will, but not for a while. Not until I at least get 1,000 subscribers, but even then, my room hasn't changed that much. I mean, I moved some stuff around, like, I took my Beast Wars stuff and put them there, and put my DC Universe Classic stuff away, took out my Star Wars figures, and moved the Wonder Woman there, but besides that, nothing's really changed. So yes, but not for a while. Next question. The black part of the mask on the classic Detective Batman, is that shadowing? Yes, it is. The black section of Batman's mask on the very front, in the comics, is meant to be shadowing. It's the same thing on the toy. They just put it in there as added detail. Oh, where's my... Are you planning on reading the Batman Reborn series, i.e. the Red Robin, Batman and Robin, and Batwoman series? Yes, when they get collected in the trade, I do plan on reading them. I hear good things about Batman and Robin. I hear some good stuff on Red Robin. And I hear some fantastic stuff on Batwoman. So I will be picking up all of it. Just a matter of it's coming out on trade. I just got Batman Battle for the Cowl Companion, which I read actually before I read Battle of the Cowl, which is coming out, I believe, next week. Okay, what's the Joker's real name? The Joker's had many different backstories, and all of them are considered vague. The one that's considered the most in continuity is the Killing Joke. I believe he's called Jack in there. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I believe it is. Question. What characters besides Batman and Wonder Woman have 1 year later stories? Should I read all of them for the characters before reading the Infinite Crisis? Where does the Infinite Crisis fall in Batman and Wonder Woman's timeline? Does All-Star Batman and Robin count in continuity? No spoilers, please. Thanks again. And then a little note he said, I meant, should I read the pre-crisis stories for every character before reading the Infinite Crisis, just to avoid any confusion? Well, I'm going to address that one first. Should you? Yes, you should probably read the stories before the Infinite Crisis, because a lot of them are very good. As for what characters besides Batman and Wonder Woman have 1 year later stories, officially there's 3 1 year later stories. There's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. However, there's several different characters and teams that have stories that take place after the Infinite Crisis, where the stories beforehand were before the Infinite Crisis. For example, Teen Titans Life and Death was Volume 5, and that took place before the Infinite Crisis, or actually during it. And then the next volume took place after the Infinite Crisis. which was Titans Around the World. So that's a 1 year later story. Robin has a 1 year later story, which I believe is Wanted. Nightwing has Brothers in Blood, which is its 1 year later story. Justice League has the Tornadoes Path. So there are various different characters that have, you could say, 1 year later stories. But the official 1 year later stories are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Fuck the phone. Okay, next part of the question is, where does the Infinite Crisis lie or fall in Wonder Woman's and Batman's timeline? The Infinite Crisis comes before Face the Face in Batman's timeline and after War Crimes. And for Wonder Woman, it comes after Mission End and before Who is Wonder Woman. And last part of this question, does All-Stars, Batman, Robin count in continuity? No, it does not count in continuity. It's an Elseworld story that is a prequel to Frank Miller's Batman: The Dark Knight Returns and Batman: The Dark Knight Strikes Again. So it is not in continuity. What do you think of Batgirl Year 1 and Robin Year 1? I reviewed Batgirl Year 1 and I enjoyed it a lot. Robin Year 1 I'm actually going to start reading today, so you'll know when I'm done. I think I answered that in a comic response, but oh well. What do you do with your figures when you buy them? Do you shelf them? Play with them? What? When I buy my figures, depending on the figures, I usually just display them, or shelf them as you call them. I don't play with my figures. I don't discriminate with people who do. There's nothing wrong with that. But for Batman figures, or usually I shelf them. I'm running out of space in my room, so I've had to put a few figures away. Like my DC Universe Classic line is currently in storage until I get more room. Hopefully, I get some room for Christmas, like a shelf or another bookcase. But excuse me. But mostly I just display them. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just hungry. Okay. I wanted to ask, have you ever done a review on Batman Ego? No, I haven't. I have not read that. I'm not sure if it's in continuity or not. So, and this is only like 1 or 2 issues in a trade paperback with some Catwoman stories. Not sure, but no, I haven't reviewed it. I haven't read it. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if I should get Dark Victory next or The Killing Joke. This was one of the questions that were long. The person read Long Halloween and they were wondering if they should get Dark Victory next or The Killing Joke. Logically, Dark Victory comes next in the timeline. However, it's not an amazing story. It's good, and it's a good follow-up to Long Halloween. But if I had to pick, I would say Killing Joke. Okay. One sec. Okay. This is a long question. What I'm wondering is, 1, is there any Batman novels that I should read as a newcomer to Batman's world? So I won't be missing parts of the story or get confused. As a new reader to Batman's world, and essentially you should read, in my opinion, Batman Year 1, Long Halloween, Killing Joke, Nightfall, Death in the Family, Hush, and from there you can kind of figure it out on your own. But those are really stuff that you should get, because that hits some of the major areas in Batman's timeline without kind of getting stuck into the more in-depth stuff, like Grant Morrison's run. 2, what novels do you think are a must to read for all Batman fans? I made an essential Batman comic list video. I recommend you go and watch that. What I did is I kind of went through all my Batman graphic novels at the time and said which ones you should pick up and which ones you shouldn't. Finally, and this is a side question, What is the difference between a normal comic book and a graphic novel besides the fact that one is 100 plus pages? And is a graphic novel just all the comics in a set put together by someone or something else? A comic book is an individual issue, where a graphic novel is usually all the issues from one story arc collected. For example, there's an individual issue for Batman Nightfall, issue 1 of 5 or whatever. But then they have the Batman Nightfall 3 paperbacks, which collects all the issues from Batman Nightfall. And last question. I heard the terms Golden, Silver, and Bronze Age, and I'm not sure what that means. If you mind answering my question, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm actually thinking about doing a video explaining that, but so I'll give you a quick answer here and an in-depth answer in the video. Golden Age is usually comics from the mid-1930s to the early 1950s. It's considered the Golden Age of comics. Silver Age is considered from the 1950s to about the end of the 1960s. 1960s. The Bronze Age is from the 70s to 1985, and 1985 to now it's considered the Modern Age. Again, I'll go into more detail about them later. Who would win, Superman or Flash? Superman. I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and I was wondering if you heard of the audio version of Nightfall, and if so, what do you think of it, as opposed to reading it? Personally, I like them both, but I kind of prefer the written one, since you can actually see what's going on and visualize it. I haven't listened to the audio one, so I can't really tell you. I'm sorry. I would probably prefer the comic, though, more. Because, the same as you said, you can see what's going on. Okay. Someone asked me, and this is one of the larger questions that I just shorted down, is that they read the greatest stories ever told for a certain character. For example, Batman, the greatest stories ever told, or the Joker, greatest stories ever told. And the question is would I be interested in those stories because I like the Batman Chronicles series or the Showcase Presents series? The answer to that simply is yes and no. Right now, no. I probably wouldn't buy them because all the issues that are in those I can get in from other trades along with other issues. However, if I have, when I have kids, when I will, when my girlfriend and I get married and we have kids, and I have a boy or a girl, doesn't matter. Instead of bedtime stories, I would pick those up and read those to them. I know that sounds really cheesy. You think I'm fucking joking, but I'm serious. I would sit down and read those because it's a little bit of Batman from all the different kind of continuities and different kinds of versions of them. But yeah, right now, no. But if I was reading it to someone or reading it to my kids in the future, then I probably would pick them up. I know that's kind of a weird answer, but that's the answer. In your opinion, which is the best Superman figure out there? My opinion, from the ones that I have right now, of Superman Clark Kent, would be the DC superhero Superman. In general, of all the Superman characters, it would be the DC superhero Steel. That's a great fucking figure. Also, where can I find the DC superheroes Batman, Robin 2-pack for good price? Nowhere. They're all going to be expensive. I think it was more than a year ago that the thing was out, and they were very popular. So, chances are you're not going to find them. And I'm sorry about that, but you're probably not. Not for a good price, at least. Would you say Jason Todd is dead now? No. Jason Todd is very much alive. Hey, Andrew, have you ever seen or read... well, no. Sorry. Hey, Andrew, have you ever seen Comic Book Superheroes Unmasked on the History Channel? And if so, what did you think of it? I think it is pretty good. I saw that, and I actually enjoyed it. They hit a lot of areas that you wouldn't expect from a comic book documentary. more about the history of the business than actually the characters is something I enjoyed. So I did enjoy it. Oh, use my bathrobe as a napkin. Oh, what the hell. There we go. Okay. Last question. Hey, can you do Teen Titans, New Teen Titans timeline? I really want to read them, but I don't know where to start. And also, I don't know the difference between the Titans and the New Teen Titans. Well, to answer your first question, I will be doing a timeline for the Teen Titans, for Nightwing, for the Justice League, and maybe a few other characters, but that's not until the future. If you want to know where to start with the Teen Titans, I recommend you do the Archive, the New Teen Titans stuff. That is done by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. It's 4 volumes. That's where I recommend you start. As for the difference between the Teen Titans and the New Teen Titans, there's been 3 volumes of Teen Titans. There's been the Titans that showed up in the 60s, which is called the Teen Titans. Then the title stopped. It would start back up in the 1980s, called the New Teen Titans. Not very new, is it? However, it was called the New Teen Titans. And then the Titans book was started up again in 2003, called the Teen Titans. So really the difference is that the New Teen Titans is the Titans of the 80s, or the 80s era, and it's probably the best Titans team, period. It's my favorite Titans team. Do I want to say, yeah, 5. It's my favorite Titans team, and it's some of the best. I'm going to say right now, a little off, George Perez, Marv Wolfman's run on the New Teen Titans is probably my second favorite comic book stuff, period. Without a doubt. I mean, obviously there's superheroes I like better, or there may be stories I like better, but as for runs, I mean, that is some amazing comic book stuff, the New Teen Titans. Amazing. So if you want to start anywhere with the Teen Titans, the Archives, the New Teen Titans Archives, volumes 1 through 4 is a great place to start. They're very enjoyable. They're very fun. That's where you should start. So, with that said, that is the end of these questions and answer videos. I just uploaded Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, so at least you know what day this is being done on. And I am going downstairs to read the comments. So with that said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.